real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiffs Sharon King and her husband Luther have lived on their block since 1991. But ever since the defendant and his family moved in, it's been nothing but problems. Sharon says the defendant's 16-year-old daughter, who's with him in court, is rude and disrespectful and currently pregnant. They're suing for property damage. Defendant Sultan Akbar says he's been a single father of 4 girls for 13 years, and he does the best he can. Sultan says his daughter admitted to being involved in slashing the plaintiff's tires, but insists she did not act alone.
Tell me what happened.
I'm gonna start off by saying I'm on a block committee on my block, so we try to keep the block in peace and in order. And, look out for each other.
What city?
Philadelphia.
What part?
North Philadelphia.
Tough part of town.
Yes, very tough, very tough. I've been on my block since '91. Never had any problems with any of the neighbors, And since the family of Mr. Art Barton moved on the block, it's been, a lot of, disappointment, a lot of trouble. This young lady is just so disrespectful.
How long ago did the family move in?
Approximately maybe 3, maybe 4 years ago.
Okay.
And since I've been knowing the young lady, she's been very disrespectful, very rude. She cusses out, the neighbors. She cusses out adults. She even very disrespectful to her father. She fights him.
Well, so I was going to ask, is a mother in the home, to your knowledge? I don't like talking about a person when they're sitting right there.
I understand.
I'll ask you.
No, there's not a mother in the home. Okay. He's a single father of 4 children. And I think he tries. But the solution is not working. So if it's not working, then we need to look at some other, services.
That's a good point. Have you suggested any to him?
Yes, and I also spoke to the father maybe 2 summers back. Okay. The young lady is 16 now. She's pregnant, and I brought to the father's attention, when he's out at work, how the crowd hangs at his house, and some of the young ladies is much older than her. And I brought to the father's attention that, the boys is on his step, and, the things that they're doing.
Yeah.
And,
what do you want to tell me?
Well, I've been having problems with this young lady over here, with the sitting on my car, cussing me out. And
sitting on your car, kind of like hanging out in front of the house?
Yes.
With other people?
Across the street from her, so she has like 10 to 15 people out sometime. And they'll lean on people's cars, you tell them to get off the cars, and they'll start cursing you out. Okay. And he's aware of it, because I spoke to him a couple of times.
Then he expresses concern?
He said he'll talk to her.
He doesn't deny. He doesn't try and be defensive.
Yeah, he doesn't be defensive.
Good.
He said he'll speak to her, but then the same
So far, you all are good neighbors, and he's a good father so far. Right. Let me hear from you, sir.
I've been raising them for 13 years, 4 girls. They stair steps from 16 to 13. Like you said, the rough side of town, that's what it is. And I try to do the best I can. I work hard every day. I'm working every day. Late nights. 4 girls? Is that? Yes.
Yeah, and girls, fathers can do as much as they can to try, but you can't teach her womanhood. No. So I can see why you might have problems, because unless they learn in their household how to be a real woman, they gonna learn on the street.
Exactly.
And in a tough neighborhood in Philly, you're not learning how to curtsy. So I understand your situation, because unless they learn in their household how to be a real woman, they gonna learn on the street.
Exactly.
And in a tough neighborhood in Philly, you're not learning how to curtsy.
Defendant Sultan Akbar is being sued by his neighbors because they claim his daughter, who is 16 and pregnant, slashed their tires.
What do you want to tell me happened?
Well, can I back up a little bit?
Sure.
I understand he's trying to be a good father and trying to raise his girls, but you have to be home in order to do that. And he's going all hours. and sometime overnight. And these young ladies
You
is
nosy. How
Yes.
you know this man going all night? How you know when this man coming and going?
Okay, let me explain, because like I said, we're the block committee, and I'm one of the block committee.
The nosiest
And like I said, no, we're not nosy. We like to keep our block
I know a lot of block clubs. When I worked for the mayor in Detroit, that was part of my job, is to work with hundreds of block clubs in the city. And all they did is do community watch.
Yep.
They, for the most part, that's what they did, and met with each other and came up with ideas on how to deal with vacant lots, vacant houses, getting the grass cut for those vacant lots, and they didn't get into what so-and-so was doing in his house.
Okay, but let me explain the type of block committee we have.
Y'all know it.
Okay? Totally different than, a little bit different than what you're describing. What we do, we reach out to our young people. We try to parent them as well. We did so many different things with our block. We do block parties. We did a Clementon Park trip. We also, for school, we gave out for every single child on the block, whether they was unruly or not, received a book bag. So these are the type of things.
All that what you said is a beautiful thing. I'm proud of you. Thank you. But we were talking about how you know this man's coming and going, and how I don't believe that that's part of the block club's strategy. Tell me about this lawsuit. You nosy and looking at everybody's business. That's why they didn't damage your property. Go ahead. What property are you suing for? I'm messing with you. What property are you suing for? What happened?
Okay, what we're suing for today is the vandalism of our tires.
Okay, what happened?
My husband can better explain that because he came out.
July the 14th, we seen a young lady here and another young lady. She rolled her eyes and everything else. I told my wife, I said, we're gonna have a problem. I parked my car a block away from the house because there was no parking on my block. The next morning I came out, I had 4 flat tires. They was cut, car all the way down to the ground. Young man walked past and told me the girl down the block cut the tires, but I didn't want to go on hearsay. So
I then approached the young lady, the daughter, Manira. I approached her and I asked her, do she know what happened to the tires? For a minute or so, she denied it, and what I stated to her was, I know it's the group of girls that you hang with. It's either you or some of your friends. Which one of y'all cut the tires? She flat out denied it to my face. Later on, they were sitting on the step, her and the same group of girls. They started trying to get the story together, because they knew I was going to call the police, because I told them I was calling the police. Then the police came and in front of her father, and What
was the result?
The result was, the result was she admitted that she cut the tires.
To the police?
To the police, to her father, to us.
Who was there?
Her father.
Sir? Did she admit to cutting them?
She said her friends did it, a couple of friends did it, and she didn't want to tell exactly who did it. When she first said she did it.
She was involved? She said
she was involved in it. Okay, and that's what made me go to them and say, I'll pay for it. Being a responsible parent, I'm going to pay for it.
Good.
Then she came and said that it wasn't her by herself, it was some other people who had did it. So, I'm like,
let me hear from you. You want to speak? State your name.
Manira Akbar.
What do you want to tell me?
Well, the night before they had found out what happened to the tires, the morning that they came, Miss Sharon was outside and she was talking to some other neighbors, and I overheard what they were talking about. So I had called my friend and I had told her that they had found out what happened to the tires, and then she was still asking me, she was questioning me, but I didn't tell her what was going on. The whole time she was blaming somebody else for doing it who was not down there and wasn't seen the whole day before then, but she kept saying she was doing it and was calling her all kinds of and all this other stuff.
That is not true.
Okay.
Let her finish, ma'am.
But then she did call the police and they had came. I did not admit to slashing any tires. I'm not just going to admit to cops and say, oh, I slashed the tires. I didn't admit to them and I didn't tell them that. I told them that I was involved in it, and it was me and a couple of my friends.
What are you doing with your life right now?
Well, I go to school.
How are your grades?
They're fine.
What does that mean? C, B average?
Well, just...
Your last report card, what did you get?
She had C's and D's on her, and a couple of E's on it too.
And a couple of D's as well.
Yeah.
Why'd you get D's?
No, it wasn't like in like math and reading. It was like I failed gym. I know that for sure.
Who fails gym? Oh my goodness.
That's the only thing I got an A in.
Huh?
It's the only thing I got an A in.
Right. That's the only thing Dog got an A in, as he says. Oh, now what are you gonna do when you graduate? That's coming up. What do you want to do?
I want to go to college for business.
Okay. Let me see, 2 D's, 2 B's, averages out to C's, and then if she got another C, that's about a C average. You got to up that to about a C plus average. That'll determine what type of school you get in. And the big part of that is also the test, the SAT test to get you in college. And let me give you some advice, because a very close person to me hung out the night before to 2 a.m. and they were hungover. So the night before the test, make sure you get plenty of rest. Wake up and do your best, all right? That's my advice to you. What you want? Trying to advise this woman on how to succeed, and you interrupted. What?
She's lying to you.
What?
She does not go to school.
Yeah, she does go to school.
Go ahead, sir.
All right,
Sir, I believe her father. He's been very honest. He's acting. He's doing his best. The man is raising 4 girls on his own and doing his best and coming to court. And so when he says those are the grades, I believe it. He said she told him she was involved, and he said he would help. And so I'm going to hold him accountable for this. $739. Your daughter told you she was involved. You told them you would help pay for it. So I'm going to keep you to that. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Well, I am sorry for slashing your tires. I am going to try my best to be respectful as I can when we get back to the block instead of going along with the situation when it's over.
I appreciate what she's saying, but actions speak louder than words. So we're going to see if you can stand under oath and not tell the truth. I don't know if I can believe what she's saying at this point. But like I said, actions speak louder than the words. We'll see when we get back if she's going to speak the truth then.
I'm just saying, neighbors, they're good neighbors. I just want that to be for the record. They are good neighbors. They do help out. But the thing is that we are in a time where these children right now, they just don't understand what reality is about. And it takes adults to not become children and be adults and deal with them on that level, period.
You're right.
Thank you.
I hope it work out for us. And I hope you're true to your word, okay?